Española Pathways Shelter has been in this community for the last 7 years, I believe. I was with the organization from the onset of them providing shelter services here in this community. So we have a men's and women's shelter that we provide overnight services for the unhoused population in this community. My role is a little different. I work with another program within our agency called Eagle Village Recovery Housing. So that is a program that I oversee, which is a transitional housing program for clients coming out of treatment. They have to have the minimum requirement for them to be in the program is 6 months of completion in a treatment facility. And then they are eligible to come into my community for recovery housing and stay there up to 18 months in a transitional housing setting, where they get case management and supportive services, as well as connection through Unite Us to other services in the area. Well, I'll start with strengths. I'm born and raised here from the Espanola Valley area, and it is a tight knit community, and so you know people know each other. It's a very friendly community. There's a lot of support in terms of familial support for a lot of clients in this area, and that is very helpful when you're working, you know, kind of collectively with families and clients. Some of the challenges working in this area in rural communities, transportation is quite a unique challenge here because a lot of the resources are spread out. We do have a form of public transportation, but they may not go out to the further outskirts of our community. Rio Arriba County, which is the county Espanola resides in, is I believe the third or fourth largest county in New Mexico. So it's roughly the size of Maine, and trying to cover that much area to some of these communities on the outskirts is challenging. Again, barriers to health sometimes are just availability for things like primary care physicians, or establishing primary care can take quite a while. As I said before, transportation for some people is challenging. uh, for the elderly, accessing resources and really getting them to understand technology as far as the use of resources, it can be challenging at times. I think what we do at Espino Pathway Shelter, we use Unite Us a lot for linkages and providing referrals to other programs in the area that are connected to the Unite Us platform. And that really helps us navigate some of the barriers that we face when we can do a warm handoff with other providers that are within the network. Yeah. A few months ago, I received a client that was a referral out of Santa Fe through Unite Us, and had family here locally and was looking to move from a provider in Santa Fe to Espanola, where he had more of a support system. And because of that warm handoff that happened just by the referral itself, I was able to already start looking at providing him access to other services in the network. So as soon as he walked in the door, I kind of had an idea already of what the previous organization was working on, and with towards goals for this client. So it made my job easier, and ultimately, made things smoother for him to be able to access resources locally immediately. I've been a navigator on Unite Us for almost 7 years. So I'm probably the most well versed when it comes to using the platform in our agency. So that allows us to sort of streamline things with the other case managers who are working in our shelter, because I can walk them through things fairly quickly if they have any questions or anything of that nature. But what I think it's allowed us to do at Española Pathways Shelter is it's allowed us to connect with everyone, obviously in the platform, but we host Santa Fe County, who oversees it, hosts monthly meetings for navigators, and it provides us with a huge opportunity to connect in person or through Zoom, and then share stories or share challenges or things of that nature. So I really believe that, since I've started using the Unitas platform, it's just grown and broadened itself to the point where it really is going to be beneficial for these outlying communities who sometimes don't have access to a lot of resources. It's huge because you get connected and you see who's in the network surrounding you, and therefore it helps expedite, a lot of these warm handoffs that you can do as far as referrals within the network. I also believe in a community like Espanola or a county like Rio Riba. It's important to remain connected by a platform like Unite Us, because a lot of what we do is on the computer through Zoom, things of these nature, the nature now, to access some of these rural areas that are being underserved. So the Unite Us network, with all of the opportunities that it has as far as connecting for services for providers, is critical, especially when maybe a client can only make it to a place once a week to check in with their caseworker or see what's going on. It allows that person to maybe have other connections lined up where they can start providing the client with more opportunities for services. The benefits of the availability of so many other providers, and have connections with people who are maybe providing a lot of different services that they're unaware of. And by Unite Us, I think, because of being on the platform, uh, in fact, and Nicole can probably speak to this. I've been out in the community just banging the drum about how critical it would be to get us all connected on the Unite Us network, and therefore, just for rural communities themselves, they have a broader base of opportunities to provide access to resources for the clients that we serve. The use of technology, the use of platforms like Unite Us for connecting services and providers, and a network, a framework for that, for providers to have access to the resources that I currently do as a navigator on Unite Us. I hope that everybody we can in this community on the platform, and that will only serve their agencies in the way that I use Unite Us, and with all the benefits that I mentioned earlier. I'm very hopeful that the more providers we get on the platform, the easier we'll be able to serve our clients and sort of overcome some of these barriers that are challenging in rural communities. I I will say that it is a very user-friendly platform, especially for someone like me who is not tech savvy and often has to tell everybody, please explain things like you're explaining it to your 80-year-old grandpa. Um, Unitas is extremely user-friendly. The tech support is amazing. Uh, any issues or any questions I've ever had, I get resolved within minutes usually. And so that's something that I will tell people. Doesn't matter how technological savvy you are, you will always get the help you need. You will get resolution. You will get follow up. It's an amazing platform to use.